Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. We are here to discuss in this session on birth into the spirit. Great topic, most essential topic for the sadhakas who really are pursuing this integral yogic process. Most of the time, what happens, they run without knowing where they have started and where they are going to reach. But thing is that some of the things that must be understood by in a crystal clear manner for them, because them without which they could not actually know where they are moving to. Spirit, soul, psychic being, these are the things must be known, must be understood. But initially, even the very preliminary thing they are unable to know, understand. They have not at all known that these are the existing. But without which actually nothing can be done really, because simply we are not here to waste our time. We are here for transformation, perfection, supramentalization, spiritualization. So many ways we are preoccupied, but thing is that we don't know what really these things are. Here, the most essential thing, one of the most essential things that we must be able to understand or know, that birth into the spirit. That is mostly I'll say, it is not actually known to them. People don't know. They are not at all aware. That is the problem with them. Anyway, mother quotes in the individual existence. In the Initially, we talk of the individual existence. Here, in the individual existence, the spirit is what makes all the difference. That is the problem. Because most of the things already we have discussed in the initial phase of talk, that people don't know what really spirit is. So, the spirit that makes all the difference. So long as one is just speaks of the spirit, and it is something one has read about, that is theoretically people know some spirit is existing, but they don't know what really it is, and whose existence is vaguely known about. That is what they are very much unconscious. They don't know, they are unaware well about the existence, but not the very concrete reality for the consciousness. That is what vaguely most of the thing you can find in most or almost towards the end, towards the completion, you can find that they don't know what really it is, or something they have felt or experienced, something vaguely, dimly, not fully. This means that one is not born into the spirit. That is the problem. One is not born into the spirit. That is the major problem. And Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully on spirit here. The spirit is freedom, the spirit is unity, the spirit is immortality. But thing is that this union, unity, freedom, immortality, that we also don't know in outwardly, superficially. How can we claim that the spirit we know and its inner meaning is known to us? That is a different issue. Spirit is that which is concealed and has to be revealed. In the present scenario, it is concealed and it has to be revealed. There is no other go. Without the spirit, really nothing can you do. So far, this integral yoga is concerned. Yoga, I don't know people how they feel, how they know, how they understand. But thing is that it is a vague concept, a vague term for them. Some people are going for, they are, most of the people you think now, almost in 100% people you can find some disease. Actually, doctors have this physicians, they have already told it is unrecoverable, incurable. Thing is that you have to go for this something, you have to do some yoga. Yoga means that anulam bilam patal bhati and some exercise like this, they feel that is yoga. That is the problem, that is the lacuna with them. So here in the course, spirit is who is concealed and it has to be revealed. Mind and body are the means by which they seek to reveal itself. But we have taken mind and the life and the body, they are the almost, they are the end. But thing is that these are here in the course, and we must know this is only the means by which it seeks to reveal itself. The spirit seeks to reveal itself through mind and the body. That is what spirit is, the crown of universal existence. You must know, you must understand, crown of all existence. Matter is its basis. Mind is the link between the two. Here In one point, one side there is spirit, on the other side there is matter, and the link, connecting link is the mind. So spirit is the crown of universal existence. It is the crown, it is at the zenith. At the nadir you can find matter is its basis, and the link, that is mind, link between the two. And against your in the course, spirit is that which is eternal. It was there, it is here, and it will be there. It is eternal. Spirit is who is that which is eternal. Mind and matter are its workings, nothing else. In the way of the way of the spirit is the way of peace and light and harmony. How you can know you are living in the spirit? You are claiming you are spiritual. How can is it possible to see and show? That is another way. Now, the spirit is the way of the spirit is the way of peace, light, and harmony. Three things you must behold. You must see. You must realize. One is peace, second is light, and the third is harmony. The way of the spirit is the way of peace and light and harmony. If these are lacking, it naturally indicates you are not living in the spirit. Again, the claim of the ordinary life cannot stand against that of the spirit. The demand of the spirit, the way of spirit, the working of the spirit is totally different from the way of ordinary life. So the claim of the ordinary life, naturally there is a claims in the ordinary life also, in the spiritual life also. But the ordinary life, so far these claims are concerned, it can't stand against that of the spirit. The spirit gives up not only a greater light of truth and vision, but the breath of greater living. You can feel in the ordinary process of living, ordinary style of living, ordinary order of living, you won't be satisfied. The spirit gives up not only a greater light of truth and the vision, but the breath of the greater living. Again we can go forward. The spirit is the truth of our being. The great things that's quoted, we must know, we must realize the spirit is the truth of our being. Mind and life and body in their imperfection, are its masks. But to the masks, like here, mind and life and body, we have taken it for the whole, but it is not that much. And in their perfection should be in its moods. Again, we can go for the mother house. Really, mother how it explains, because most of the time mother course it is unknown to the race, or a few, even if they have known, they have got the dim or fragmented idea, not the whole idea. So the mother course, finally what really we have to do, means one is not born into the spirit. Born into the spirit, they have not even gone touched the seashore, about the depths of the sea. How can they imagine? It is just theoretical knowledge what you explain. Anyway, as when one is born into the spirit, then what is the criteria, what is the change, what is the experience, what is the realization? As when one is born into the spirit, it becomes something much more concrete. That is what, nothing superficial on the surface. It is much more concrete, much more living, much more real, much more intangible than the whole material world. That is what you must remember. If you are living, born in spirit, living in the spirit, then what you really happens, born in the spirit, then then it something more concrete, more living, more real, more tangible than the entire thing. That must be taken care of in the material world. And this is what makes the essential difference between the beings that become spontaneously real. The true concrete existence and the atmosphere is one of the feel breathe. Then one knows, one is crossed over to the other side. Very interesting. We'll try to analyze the sentence again. And that is what makes the essential difference between the beings. Essential difference between the beings, you can see, who is aware, unaware, who is conscious, who is unconscious, who has lived born in the spirit and who is not, who has gone to that level and who has not reached even the bottom also. So when that becomes spontaneously real, when living in the spirit, when it becomes spontaneously real, not something like you are thinking of something, but when it is something spontaneously real, the true, spontaneously, initially mother quoted, spontaneously real, absolutely spontaneously, nothing forceful. spontaneously real, the true, concrete existence, the atmosphere one can freely breathe. Atmosphere one can freely breathe. Then one knows one is crossed over to the other side. If that experience is there, visibly you have felt the realization, then you have gone to the other side. But so long as it is something rather than vague and hazy, unless otherwise that realization is not there, you will be feeling something vague and hazy. You have heard about it, heard, you have read, you have something, you have got the idea, or you have listened the story, something like this. You have heard about it, you know that it exists. Everywhere it is written, its existence is also sure, but your imagination is, it is, you have got an imagination, but in reality you have not touched the very ground of this existence. But it has no concrete reality. For the concrete reality, to get the concrete reality, you must be aware, you must cross over to that. Well, this means that a new birth is not yet taken place. Unless otherwise that realization, that concretization is not there, that vagueness is not gone, and you have not got the new birth really, it has not taken place in you. So you must be knowing that experience, you must know, and you know, that the concretization must be there, you must have the realization, you must have the feeling. So this is what we have known till now. We have crossed over and analyzed the things on spirit, what is spirit. And second page we have gone from mother, the birth into the spirit. What are the criteria? What are the conditions? Again, we'll discuss a few lines from Sri Aurobindo. Actually, you know, to know what is really birth. Three or couple of lines I can remember. Here it is noteworthy to quote them. And you know, the miracle of the absolute was born. Sri Aurobindo writes, the miracle of the absolute was born. Infinity put on a finite shape. In all ocean lived in a single one, in a wandering drop. All ocean, entire water, lived in a wandering ray. The time made body housed the illimitable. Infinity put on a first, all ocean lived in a wandering ray. Second condition, the infinity put on a finite rope. Third, the third condition, you know, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully, that is on a time made body housed the illimitable. After these three conditions are satisfied, these are fulfilled, then what happened? To leave this mystery out, our souls came here. That is the purpose. To leave this mystery out here, our souls came here. So, Sri Aurobindo quotes couple of things. Each moment is a wave of peace and bliss. Already we have known the working of the spirit we have seen. So each movement was a peace and bliss. Before one sentence is there. In a high state where ignorance is no more. You can find, you can see the existence of ignorance, there is no more. Each movement is a wave of peace and bliss. No ignorance, on the contrary, you can find the touch of peace and bliss. Repose God's motionless creative force. This repose God's motionless creative force. Action a ripple in the infinity, and the birth a gesture of eternity. That is what. The feeling will be very much complete, and very much you can find there is no existence of ignorance. And on the second time you can find that there is a wave of peace and the bliss. Third, repose God's motionless creative force. God's motionless creative force, that is repose. After repose comes the action. Action a ripple in the infinity, and then birth is a gesture of eternity. So these are the conditions when you can find, you can feel, you can realize, that is what you can see there. So Mother quotes here in the quotes again, there is no end of seeking and of birth. It is the problem with you. There is no end of seeking and of birth. There is no end of dying and a return. It will be continuous. It will be a continuous process. You can remember. There is no end of seeking and of birth. There is no end of dying and a return. The life that wins, it's the aim. Sometimes you realize, you win it back, and after that, that is you are going to the second step, not the goal of your journey. The life that wins its aim asks greater aim. The life that fails and dies must live again. Unsuccessfully it has failed and dies, it must live again. Till it has found itself, it can't cease. Till it has found itself, it can't cease. You don't know how many births will go, how you have to go. The process is very simple. You have to live in the spirit, you have to born in the spirit. All must be done for which life and death we are made. It is not the gifted one, it is made, and there is a purpose. With the mission you have come here, you have to fulfill the mission. That is what. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully. Each day was a spiritual romance that you can know. Already we have discussed a lot of things. This is a never-ending story, but we have to be very much confined to our stipulated, fixed, and allotted time. That's what. How is your feeling? You can know. Each day was a spiritual romance, as if he was born into a bright new world. This is the great experience you can have, as if he was born into a bright new world. Adventure, lived an unexpected friend you have not expected, and each happened, and danger brought a keen, sweet tongue of joy. Danger, it is actually changing to a sweet tongue of joy. Each happening was a deep experience. You can know, you can realize, and each happening was a deep experience. For that, actually, what you have to do, ever he repeats in him his ceaseless verse. He is the instrument, he is the master, he is the dreamer, he is everything. He has, and he is the knower, he is the vision, everything is he. Only we are here to put out, to play out our parts. Author and actor is he with us for roles. Ever he repeats in him his ceaseless verse. He is the maker and the world he made. He is the vision and he is the seer. He is himself the actor and the act. He is himself the knower and the known. He is himself the dreamer and the dream. When it will happen, here in the course, we have to stop here. A date is fixed in the calendar of the unknown, the anniversary of the birth sublime. That realization is a must for this experience. Vande Mataram.